Imagine you have only 6 months to learn how to speak English. At first, it seems impossible, right? But the truth is, you're not aiming to learn the entire language in this time. Instead, within 6 months, you can reach a level where you can speak confidently and express yourself effectively in real life situations. So, how can you make this happen? What's the solution? What exercises should you practice? Stick with me until the end of this video because I'm going to show you 5 simple but incredibly effective daily habits. If you practice them consistently every day, you'll notice a significant improvement within 6 months or even less. You'll be able to communicate your thoughts much more easily and naturally. By the way, here is Deed Language, and we teach you how to learn English and improve your skills faster using AI and thousands of tips and tricks. So let's dive into these 5 habits that can truly transform the way you learn and speak English. The first habit is journaling. You might be wondering, what does keeping a journal have to do with learning to speak English? Let me explain. Journaling means setting aside a little time every day to write something in English. It doesn't have to be long or use complex words. Start simple. Write about your day, your plans for the future, or even your feeling. This helps you expand your vocabulary and get more comfortable with sentence structure and grammar. Think of journaling as the slower-paced version of speaking. It lets you practice forming sentences gradually before you dive into faster real-time conversations. Where should you write? You can use a notebook or even the note apps on your phone. The key is to do it every single day. The best time, morning or evenings, when your mind is calm and you only need 10 to 15 minutes a day. So, how does this help with speaking? When you write, you're learning how to put sentences together. This makes speaking easier and faster because your brain gets used to forming correct sentences before you even say them. Journaling acts as a bridge between thinking and speaking. Another great benefit is that you can go back and review what you've written, spot your mistakes and correct them. This creates a cycle of continuous improvement. Plus, there are tons of videos online about journaling that which can also benefit your mental health. So, it's like hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. The second daily habit is shadowing. This is one of the most powerful techniques for improving your speaking skills. But you might be wondering, what exactly is shadowing and how can you use it? Let me break it down for you. Shadowing is when you listen to an English audio file and repeat exactly what the speaker says at the same time they say it.
The only thing
satisfying the speaker
someone to do what I want is failing to persuade them on purpose.
It's like becoming the speaker's shadow. How can you do it? First, find a short audio file. It could be a simple broadcast, a scene from a movie, or even TV series. The key is to have the transcript or subtitles so you can check out parts you don't understand clearly. Spend 5 to 10 minutes each day on one section of the audio. First, listen to it once to get familiar with the speaker's tone and pronunciation. Then, play it again and repeat the sentences at the same time as the speaker. Don't worry if you make mistakes at first. The point of this practice is improvement over time. Why is this method so effective? First, when you repeat sentences out loud, you're training your mouth muscles to pronounce words correctly. Second, it helps you get used to the natural rhythm and intonation of the English language. This means you'll stop sounding robotic or stiff and start speaking more like a native. Another benefit of shadowing is that it helps you structure sentences faster and more naturally during conversations. Why? Because your brain gets used to hearing and repeating correct sentences, so when it's your turn to speak, those patterns come to mind automatically. One tip: try using different topics every week. For example, 1 week you work on audio clips about travel. The next, switch to everyday conversations. This variety helps you quickly expand your vocabulary and get comfortable with different types of content. Start shadowing today and watch how quickly your speaking skills improve. The third daily habit is reading out loud. You might wonder, how does reading out loud improve your speaking skills? Let me explain. This method involves taking any English text you have, short stories, simple articles, or even movie subtitles, and reading it out loud. When you read out loud, your tongue, ears, and brain are all working together, which makes your learning deeper and more effective. How should you do it? Dedicate 10 to 15 minutes a day. Choose a text that's slightly above your current level, but not so difficult that it becomes frustrating. Pay attention to the words, pronounce them correctly, and read sentences with appropriate intonation. If you're unsure how to pronounce a word, you can use online dictionaries or even search it on Google. One of the biggest benefits of this method is that it improves your pronunciation and fluency. When you say the words out loud, your mouth muscles get used to producing English sounds, and over time, your speech becomes more natural and closer to native pronunciation. It also helps you get familiar with grammar and sentence structure. When you read sentences out loud, your brain subconsciously absorbs the patterns. This means that when you speak, you can use these patterns without overthinking them. Another great advantage of reading out loud is that it boosts your confidence. When you practice daily, you'll find yourself less afraid of speaking and more comfortable during real conversation. The best texts for these methods are stories and dialogues because they're similar to real-life conversations. But you can pick any text that interests you and keep you motivated. A key idea behind this habit is that when you are reading, you don't have to worry about the content. It's already in front of you. Your mind doesn't need to think about grammar, vocabulary, or structure. This allows you to focus entirely on pronunciation, sentence flow, and intonation. Start reading out loud today, and you'll notice how quickly it transforms your speaking skills. The fourth daily habit is practicing with AI. But how can you do it effectively? AI tools like advanced chatbots or language learning apps can be your always available partners for speaking practice. With these tools, you can practice everyday dialogues, ask questions, and even improve your responses. How should you use it? Start by choosing a topic. For example, you might want to practice a conversation about shopping or discuss a travel experience. Explain the topic to the chatbot and ask it to talk with you as if it were a real person. Read the chatbot's responses, repeat them out loud, and then write or say your own replies. Spend 10 to 15 minutes a day on this exercise. Another approach is to ask AI to correct your sentences. For instance, you can share sentences you've written or spoken and ask for feedback on how to improve them. This way, you not only identify your errors, but also learn to correct usage of words and grammars. What are the benefits of this method? First, you always have a practice partner, and you don't need to worry about scheduling or finding someone to work with. Second, it helps you get comfortable with real-life scenarios because the practice sessions often mimic situations you might encounter in real world. Most importantly, practicing with AI removes the stress of speaking. Since you are interacting with a machine, you don't have to worry about being judged. This allows you to practice freely and build confidence. Start integrating AI into your daily routine and see how it transforms your speaking skills. We have a dedicated playlist to help you with that. The fifth and the final daily habit is practicing grammar in real-life situations, or what's called context-based practice. You may have heard that memorizing grammar rules isn't the best way to learn. Obviously, that's absolutely true. The best way to master grammar is by using it in real sentences and real-life scenarios. How can you do this? Start by choosing one grammar point, like the present perfect or conditional sentences. Then, write a short text using the grammar. You can write about your day, a short story, or even a simple dialogue. The goal is to apply the grammar in meaningful, practical sentences. Another method is to imagine daily situations and create sentences related to them. For instance, think about ordering food at a restaurant. Practice the sentences you'd need for the situation using the correct grammar. This helps you recall grammar naturally when you are in real-life conversations. Why this is effective? First, it helps you internalize grammar naturally. When you are in an actual conversation, you don't have to think about the rules. Sentences just come out of your mind automatically. Second, it helps you better understand how grammar works and make it easier to use it in various contexts. What's more, practicing grammar this way is never boring. You're using it in a way that are interesting and directly related to your life, making learning much more enjoyable. By practicing grammar in context, you're not just memorizing rules, you are making grammar a part of how you communicate every day. Give it a try and see how it transforms your English skills. Now, let's take a step back and review these habits and techniques together. Foundational steps. These habits are the foundational steps to start improving your speaking skills. However, mastering a language requires more time and dedication than just 6 months or a few simple daily practices. These methods help you get on the right track quickly, but consistent effort and long-term practice are what will ultimately lead you to fluency. These habits need to be practiced every single day. You do not need to dedicate a lot of time. Just 15 minutes a day is enough. You can even use that time like while exercising, walking, or relaxing in bed after work. You don't have to practice all the habits every day, but pick at least 3 of them and stick to them daily. Consistency, even in short bursts, is far more effective than sporadic long sessions. Your practice doesn't have to be perfect, and you shouldn't expect immediate results. Forget about ideal quality and just focus on doing it. Every time you practice, you are taking a small step toward improvement. Remember, the frequency and consistency of practice are more important than perfection. Even if you make mistakes, that's okay. You're learning, and that's what really matters. Another key point is to focus on fluency rather than accuracy in your practice. Fluency means being able to speak without hesitation or overthinking. For example, if you say, "He go to school yesterday," instead of "He went to school yesterday," it's not a big deal. You're practicing fluency, and over time, your sentences will naturally become more accurate. But if you aim for perfect sentences from the start, you might lose the confidence to speak at all. Start incorporating these habits into your daily life. Even small, consistent efforts can lead to big chances in your ability to communicate in English. What are you waiting for? Start today and watch these small habits transform your English speaking skills. Meanwhile, you could also take a look at the speaking playlists of ours. We'll see you in the next one.